In the beginning, a lot of people said that the LID Boss touchless lid dispenser it was a solution to a problem that might not really exist. In fact, 1 week after the product launch, the COVID-19 pandemic began to shake the world, quickly diminishing any doubt in the value of this product. Okay, but how quickly can a design team take this idea to market and scale globally? I recently visited the founders of LID Boss, Mark McCulley and Jesse Hahn. Their full-time job is actually owning and operating Center for Advanced Design. It's a product development firm located here in Minnesota. I wanted to hear their stories about moving from concept to prototype and forming an entirely new company to handle this demand.
The lids that you use at like a coffee shop or a fast food restaurant, we developed a machine that you can wave your hand in front of, and then a single sanitary lid comes out of the machine. There were a lot of germaphobes even pre-COVID, and now everyone's a germaphobe. So we had a few people that saw the machine early on, and they thought, it's like you're creating a solution to a problem that doesn't exist, And that's a fair argument. You say you're creating something. It's pretty much what every solution is. It's not always a problem for everybody. So it's a fair argument. Since COVID, we haven't heard anybody say that. They always been like, oh yeah, well, how come every store doesn't have one of these type of things, So whether it's the barista at the counter at a coffee shop, they're putting on the lid and then handing it to you after they've just touched people's money or credit cards or things like that, or you're doing it yourself with the lid that somebody else has already touched. You're definitely moving germs and pathogens around a lot. Like at some point, everybody's touching everybody else's lids. If you're always grabbing 3 and then put 2 back, it's kind of like the shell game. You are going to touch somebody else's lids. A lot of people will grab the lids, pull one off, and if somebody's standing nearby, they just toss them in the garbage, right? So you may have 1 or 2 going in the garbage for every one that's used. Well, that's not good either. It just seemed like the right product at the right time, not knowing that, we officially launched it, I'm going to say maybe a week before, COVID really hit the United States here. It was, we launched it, we were all excited about the product, and then COVID hit. On top of all the other challenges we had with production and just meeting with people or talking to people that were happening, especially in early 2020, we try to get the products now assembled and then out the door, and then trying to figure out the assembly process and stuff like that.
In this series, you're going to witness 3D experience work solve challenges beyond design. And trust me, there was a lot of them. But great designs begin with creative minds figuring things out. So I had to ask, how did the current LID Boss come together? And what was the most surprising challenge they faced early on?
One of our lead designers here, Chris Will, had developed this system. He had a concept that we really liked, and he asked if he could spend a little time, just seeing it through. And we said, of course, we're in the development phase. So he literally just took it and kind of ran with it. We sketched out, we talked through some ideas. He 3D printed the parts, and then got some, little motors, little servo motors and stuff like that. And he's kind of an RC guy, so he knew exactly what to do with the the controllers. So there's actually a shuttle that comes up from the bottom, and it grabs the lid from the bottom of the stack, brings it down, and then strips it away, comes down the ramp. It sounds fairly easy. It's actually very difficult to grab a single lid off the stack.
We didn't realize there were so many lids out there. Like, you think everybody probably uses the same lid at different fast food restaurants. How many lids is there? 6, 18 different lids. There's like almost 500 different lids that are used in circulation. And we're using the 80-20 rule. So 80% of those, there's 500 different lids out there depending on which gas station you're at and which fast food restaurant you're at.
Yep.
So we learned pretty quick that we were going to need more adjustability in this.
When Jesse was talking about the 500 different lids, that's here in the United States, but once you start opening up to different regions of the world, it's kind of all over the place. We don't get too married to our designs. We try to stay at a point where we're trying to figure out what is best. Is this the most cost-effective way to do this? And again, right now it's all has to do with like material pricing and stuff like that. So again, I think we're in a fortunate position here because we can make changes probably faster than a lot of companies that, they try and launch a product out there. LID Boss is really an engineering focused company. And right now that engineering focused company, because the design is pretty well nutted down, it's ready to be turning into a sales focused company.
So Mark and Jesse are staring at a massive opportunity, but they're going to need help to navigate the final phase of product and business development. To do that, Mark and Jesse formed a new dedicated LID Boss spinoff. In the following videos, you're going to see this new team move the prototype design forward and attempt to spool up a global operation. Watch the LID Boss team connect and get down to business using 3D Experience Works as the backbone of their day-to-day. Hold on, wait a minute. 3D Experience Works? I thought this was more of a SolidWorks story. Don't worry, we'll get to the CAD and a whole lot more. Think about it this way. A fast-paced product development team like LID Boss is going to face a wide variety of challenges. They need fast access to a multitude of software tools. They need a cloud-based place to work, and they need structure file and process management. And wouldn't it be great if this was all available to them out of the box, served from a trusted and secure platform provider? The answer is this. It's 3D Experience Works. So stick around and enjoy the demos to learn a whole lot more.